Okay, I'm not going to wait. So let's get started and let's continue from what we have started last week. So last week, what we learned the list, right? List we can use to store a lot of things in it. So today we're going to continue on that. So let's quickly finish what we did last week. If you saved your application, that would be great. If not, so let's start from scratch. So what we did last week, we wanted to use a list to store all the colors that my sensor picks up when the robot moves from its starting point to the wall. So let's quickly get that done. So let me share my screen. All right. So let me create a variable. Okay. So this variable I can name it a list of colors. Right. Let me just say arrow colors. All right. So what is this one? It is all color. So we will use list color. So it has a list. So in the very beginning, we should say no. No, do not give me any color in it. So just drag it. Okay. I'm gonna drop it. So this will be an input list, right? So you are going to create an input list. You have nothing in it. All right. So then you see the variables, right? So when you do this, I think let me just try to do it again. Colors. So let me okay, create an input list of colors. So it will look like this. So now we wanted to move my robot, right? So we will do in a loop. So repeat it indefinitely. And in this loop, and we will move my robot, right? So if you move your robot quickly, then let's just drag this one here. And then we do in 100 speed, right? So once you get to that, then the next thing what we are going to do is that we wanted to insert in the list, right? So let me come back to the list. So click on the lists. Then you wanted to in the list, okay? You wanted to insert. Sorry, should be an insert. Hmm. Let me see in the list. What's the problem today? I cannot get that in the list. Should have that. Why cannot put it in the list? Let me do this again. This one. Get this one. So in the list, what is the list? So we need to get that list right. In the list, list colors. We want to insert at the last. So what do we want to insert? We will get the sensors. Okay, so use the sensors to get the color. So insert that to it. So that will use this list to store the color that the sensors get. So now we need to have a mechanism so the robot will stop, right? So what do we use? We will use a control, a logic control, okay? We will use decision. If this happens, what happens? We will use the sensors. If the touch sensor is pressed, that means it runs into a wall. Then what do? I will jump out the loop. So I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to insert the colors. So of course, I also wanted to stop my robot, right? I wanted to stop the robot. So we will use the stop there, stop the robot. If it touch the wall, stop it, jump out. So then what we wanted to do, once we jump out, we wanted to display. Okay, what do we want to display? We wanted to display how many colors we got. So you drop this one out. So you come to the list. You will see length. Length, that means the total number. The total number in the list. So what is the total number? So let me get this variable. That is the list of colors. So we will be able to show how many colors we got. And in order for us to see that, then we need another loop. So we put it in the end. That will keep the application running. So I will be able to see, how many colors. So I want you guys to have my application looks like that. Okay. Once you have that, so let me run this application. So let me run it. Then let me get my UV3. Okay. Let me run it. See how many colors. Whoa, I get a 242 colors, right? I get a 242. That's a lot. So let me stop this. And I want you guys to run this, get the same thing. Okay. So take a look at my application. And I give you 1 minute to catch up, and then you run yours to see if you can get a lot of colors, right? Go ahead and do that. All right, so can you maybe just still wait for 1 more minute? Then I can see yours. It will be 3:12. Okay, then I will ask you to share yours. All right, so can you share your work and run it? So let me see your work. Very good. Thank you. Works very well. So Audrey and Claire, you put,
I just arrived.
okay, so Claire, can you share yours? Okay, run it. Very good. All right. Wonderful job. So now let's challenge ourselves. Okay. So let me come back to my slides. So that's what we got. So now let's see. Can we change it to display all the colors? Think about that. Can we just display the colors? Okay, how can we do that? Think about that, okay? Yes, Audrey.
Because I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, so let me repeat that. We're trying to use a list to store all the colors that the robot picks when it moves from the start point to the wall. So that's what we are doing in this example. So you're trying to move your robot, but every time, so when you move your robot, you need to use the color sensor to get the colors and then store them in the list. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, and that's why we also get those colors. So now we want to see how can we display all the colors. How can we do that? Can you guys think about that if you come back to the list? So can you think about that? Oh, how can I get all those colors? We do not know how to do that, right? Because this skill I have not taught you yet. So when you come to look at the list, you see or something like this one, you can get, right? You can get an item at that position. So what we learned, last week, not last week, the week before last week, we learned that every item stored in the list, it has a position. So you can get them from the list using the position. So let's just drag this one. Okay, let me just drag this one out. Okay, you see this is a list and you click on the get. Okay, and then you click on this number. All right, and then you can use this one. So let me just try, see what I got. So how can I display the colors? How can I display the colors? So there are a lot of colors. So if we wanted to display the colors, so let me do this. Let me trash this one. Okay. Put this one here inside it. So let's see what is stored first. Okay. So let me just go put this one into it. All right. So every time you are doing it, you wanted to display the color. So let me just do that. Take this one out. So now let me use the sensors, get a color. I want to display it. So every time I display it, I want it to stay for about like 1 second. Okay, so I needed to use wait. So in the loop, we have wait. Okay, let's say wait here, control. So wait 1000 milliseconds. So after that, we wanted to create. So the display, I will say create display. Okay, then we will see all the colors are displayed. And then let's see what are those colors. So let me show you. All right, so let me, yeah. Get my way. Now I want you to watch my screen. So if I click run, it's blue, green, white, white, and then stop, right? Let me do it again. Okay, so let me change the application a little bit. So what do I want to change? Let me make this a little bit fast, 500. So let me make the robot run a little slower. So let me just do 50. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right, let me get it back. Run it. It's a blue, white, yellow, green, none, none. Do you see something? None there? Okay, you see there are a lot of colors, right? So your sensor picks up a lot of colors and you store them in the list. So, okay, so let's go to the next one then. So ask me us to display all the colors, and we just displayed, but what we displayed is not from the list. It's not from the list. So then what we need to do, let's do this. We need more variables, okay? So let me just close this one. So let me go back to what we have. So let me take this one out. So now I have a list, right? So I wanted to do another loop. I wanted to do another loop. So this is a loop. Because I wanted to do another loop, I wanted to jump out of this one. So I do not pick up colors anymore. So now here in the display, okay, I have something like that. But I wanted to do it a little bit different. So let me see what I wanted to do it differently. So let's create another variable. What variable I wanted to create? Click on this plus sign. You will just say position. Right? Position is 0. Okay. The start position is 0. All right. So now what you wanted to show is that trash this one and get the list. You are get something from the list. So you will use this one. In the list, which list? Variable. So let me use a variable. The colors. So I get the position. What will be the position? It will be this value. Okay. So let me get the variable. You have the position. Okay. So you get the color. So you loop it, and every time you display it, and then you show it, and then let me okay. Let me then need to increase the positions of value. If I do not increase the positions of value, it will always be 0. So you always get the first one. And we know that we have more than 100. We have more than 100 colors, right? Okay. So then I wanted to change that. So let me just do another display. Another display. So this display, I will display the positions. So I know which one I'm displaying. It's a variable position. All right, but one thing I need to change. You see, this is a column 0, row 0. This column 0, row 0. That's not good because they overlapped, right? So for this one, I will change it to column 1. Okay. So let's just see what happens. Let me just run it. I have not changed the position value. So it's always get the first one. So let me just do this one and show you what it looks like. Okay, let me get my UA3. And let me run it. You see, I have the position 0 and I have the color blue. It's always 0 and blue because I always get the first one. So now I want it to be smart. I want it to be smart. So I need to change it. So I need to change the position value. So let me do some math here. So I will set position to what? To math. Okay. So every time I come in, I will increase my positions value. And then you will see if we will run into a problem. Okay. So put the position here, and then I will use 1. So every time I will increase it by 1. All right. So this time, now let me run it. You see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 on my even 3. You see this displaying in the colors, right? It will go to several hundreds. So now it's 30 something. You remember that I got over like several hundred. So you see, it stored a lot of things in it, a lot of things. Okay, let me make this a little bit different. So let me just stop this. And let me make the speed fast enough. Okay, let me make this 100. So I do not store that many colors in it. So I want to change this to position 3, column 3. So you can see it more clearly. I will decrease the waiting time to 200, so it will change very fast. All right, so let me run it again. And you will see that we'll run into a problem. You see my EV3 display keep changing, right? So be patient. Let's run up to the end. See how many we have stored in it, and I don't know what problem I got into. You see you have a lot of colors, right? You stored a lot of colors. Okay, watch carefully now. All right. You see, I got a problem. I do not have colors to display anymore. Okay, so tell me why. Do you know why? Now I have a problem here. I do not have color to display. Tell me why. Anyone knows it? Kenna, do you know? Audrey, do you know it?
There isn't any colors to detect.
You're right, because in the main list, I only stored like 240 colors, but now you go up to more than 240. So that's why you have a problem, because you do not have more items in your list. So then how can I change this? So I will just do whatever we have. All right. To do that, let's come back to the loop. Okay. You see here. Do you see this? You see this loop is a specifically for, okay, specifically for a list. Okay, you see in list. So let me just drag this out. So let me put this one in. So that will give us, all right, that will give us a sensor. So let me just go there and check the color for each item color. Okay, and give it a name. Give it a name. Say my color. Okay, that's a variable name. You can name it whatever you like. So in the list, what is that list? It is a list of colors. All right. So now let me get the rest of this. Okay. So for each one of those, so I just display what? The variable my color. You see, every color, you pull them out from the list. And then now let's see what we got. It will go up to 200, right? And then it will stop. So let me just put another stop here. Put another loop here so we can see that display keep doing. So let me do this one. You see this is different loop. It loops all the items in the list. It loops all the items in the list. So this time, let's just run it again. You will see it is different. So let me run the EV3. You're watching this one. You see the color is not printed out because the color is not a text. But you see the number changes and it will stop. Right? So it does not display anymore because it finished looping the list. So it get out all those colors from the list. All right, so now let's change this application a little bit more. Let's go to say this. Set the brick lights. So this the color you see because it's a color is an object, so you cannot display that because it is color. Let me just try to see if it takes it. So it does not text that. Let me make sure I can using text. Cannot create the text. Let me try that again. Sorry, let me go to colors. Right. So now let's see. Right. Let me do this. What? should give me the let me see. Let me run it again. Okay, I cannot get the color to be displayed for you guys, but just want you guys to be clear that this will give you the colors. You can get it from the list one by one. It worked before, not sure why. No, it does not work. So I cannot just display the colors. Strange. It's really strange. Anyways, so if that cannot be displayed, then you cannot see it. It should display like a black, just like what I did before. You can get the color and display it. My color here. Okay. Anyhow, let me just try put a color there, see if it works. If it does not work, that means now this changed. Let me just do this one. Quickly do it. See if it works. Because I wanted to display a text to see this is that color. Okay, it doesn't work anymore. Okay. So it does not work, so you cannot see the effect. But I tell you, okay, for each item here in this list, you can get them one by one, get them out. Okay, you get every color out from the list. I'm not sure this makes sense to you because you cannot see the result now. The color itself cannot be displayed. Does it make sense to you? Hannah and Claire. So just try to teach you guys this loop for each item. For each item in this one. So I will do a quick one. I will do a quick one to show you, but this time I'm not going to use colors. I will come back to color, okay? So to show you how it works, let me just come to show you that. So I will say change this to a number. Okay. So a list number, and then what do I use? Okay, every time in the list. Oh, should be in a list of numbers, not just number. So let me. Okay, so let me put this one here. So in the list, I will get what? I will get the distance. So I will say how long I have run. So I will just use the sensors, get the distance from the encoder. So I store this distance in this list. Okay. So now I'm trying to use the number. If I change this to number, okay. So this is the list. So now I'm trying to display just my colors. So that now will be the number of the distance, right? So let's see. Let's run it. So you will see that I do get all those. I do get all those items from the list. Let me show you. That's what you needed to learn. How do you get the items out from the list one by one using this loop? You see? So you are getting them out one by one. And you will see when it finishes, so nothing is displayed. So that means it already exhausted the list. So you get to the end of the list. So today we're learning one thing more about the list. So let me show you this one. Because I cannot display the color, so that's why I use the distance. I want you guys, okay, to run your code, write your application like this, and then I want you to show me. And the most important for you is that you understand this loop, okay? This loop is that for each item in the list, you got it. You got that list, get that item from the list. And then you can use it. You say, I use it here to display. I display that value because it's a number listed. So I can display it here. I'm supposed to be able to display the color because I had that before. But anyways, so today it doesn't work. So I changed it to distance. I want you guys to try this. And if you get it done, that will be great. And if you have any question on this one, you can ask. And I really want you guys to get this one done. Okay. So you see, I choose a position here. I wanted to see how many I have. So I keep that information in my application. Are you getting confused? Let me save this one. List. Look, so I can easily get it back. And let me go to check my old ones, see how it works. Have you guys get it to work? So today we are loading this loop. So you can if you use this loop, that means okay. Let me put it this way: if you have 10 items in your bag, you just pull them out one by one, and you input your bag. So that's what it means. Of course, when you do this loop, it really does not input it. You still have all the items in the list, but you just go from the beginning to the end. You check them one by one. So you got them one by one. Okay, so that's how this list works. Does it make sense to you all? Okay, let me check your work. So let me check it. Let me go to Claire first. So Claire, can you share yours? Does it work for you? Cool. Very good. Wonderful. Thank you, Claire. That's good job. So you understand how the list and how the loop works, and you can use the list as the control for the loop. How about you, Kenna? You get it done? Do you want to share it to me? Yes. Run it. Um. Yeah, you do not get that. So can you stop that? Let me check. Let me change. Do something on your. They still shared. Okay. Let me help you change the code. Yeah. Can you move down a little bit? Yes. Okay. Show text. Okay. Use that part. All right. Can you take that out? Create text with. Yeah. Take it out, please. And then just go to the variable. Put the list colors. List colors. The variables in the variables on the left panel, you click on variables, and then here on the second item from top, yeah, drag it and put it there. Let's see if you can display the colors. All right, now run it, see what happens. Oh, cool, wonderful. Okay, very good. All right, so Audrey, you finished the Audrey? I cannot hear you. You can type, you can chat to me. I don't think your microphone works. You understand the loop, using list as a loop? Do you understand that one? And you say you do, okay, not ready. All right. So let me use this as an example. So today your mom take you to a mall. So you go to shopping. So you have a bag. So you buy a toy. Then you buy a makeup stuff. Then you buy a short. Then you buy a shoe. So now you have all those 4 items you put into your bag. And then when you come back, your mom asks you, Audrey, how many stuff you have bought today? And then you will just talk to your mom, Mom, see, this is what I bought. So you pull out the stuff from the bag. The first one is a toy, right? And the second one is a makeup stuff. The third one is a short. And the fourth one is a shoe. So you just pull it out from the bag one by one. So that's exactly how it works in this loop. So let me show you again. So this is what we learned today. So you come here, you look at this loop, click on it. You see here is what we are loading. So you use this for each item. What kind of item? Of course, here you say it's number. It can be a color, can be a Boolean value, can be a string, can be a collection, right? So you will say, okay, each item here, and you give it a name, and you will say address stuff. Address stuff, okay? Name that, and what is the list? The list is address bag. The address bag, or with address shopping list. So then you just pull it out from the list one by one, and then you display it or you use it, right? So if you go by gift, so you buy 10 gifts for your friends, and then you say, okay, Amy, this gift I have for you, you pull that one out and give it to Amy. And then you say you run into, Peggy, and you pull another item out from the list. You say, Peggy, that's what I have for you. So just something like that, okay? So you get everything out from the list, you look through it. So you will not run into an issue like what I had. So you go very high, but your list only has like 10 items. You go to 100, then you do not have anything in it. You don't have anything in it anymore. So this loop can guarantee you can get each every item from the list, but you will not go beyond the scope. You will not overpromise. Let's say, Audrey, you promised to give each friend a gift, and you invited 10 friends to your home, but you only have 5 gifts. And that's a problem, right? So that's how we can use this one to prevent the problem. So that means first thing you check how many gifts you have, and then you just invite that many friends for the party, right? So that means you say the for each item in the list. So that's what we used. So we're using the list to control how many loops this will run. This will run, okay? You see what I meant? Does it make more sense to you now, Audrey?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so that's all I have. And so we learned the list last week. Today we learned the one loop based on the list. And that's what we needed to know. So in the future, when you do programming, okay, when you do FLL, right, how many threads you have in your robot, then you want to make how many stops. So you can use this kind of loop, right? You only have 3 threads, and you do not want to make 4 stops, because if you make 4, then 1 stop, you will have nothing to deliver, right? Okay. All right. So that's what I have for today. And hopefully you guys